Hey everyone, this is Robert with Mr. Texas Real Estate, and I want to do a little introduction since we're here in our new setup, in our new format. I'm a real estate investor. I do a lot of other things, but I'm a real estate investor, and I'll just tell you my background. So maybe you'll relate. Maybe this might sound like you, or maybe it's you're coming from a completely different space. I know my partner is, so you get to watch Jason and figure out where he came from. I'm a third generation contractor, right? My family, my grandfather's an Italian immigrant to the United States. My grandmother was an Irish immigrant. We lived in the Northeast. My father was a roofer framer. My grandfather was a mason. My uncle did cabinetry. And I'm one of those guys who had to swear to my dad I'd never get into construction. And of course, these days I run a pretty big construction company. So I had a little bit of a construction background, but I went to college and I did some fun things in marketing and I worked for some big corporations. And then in 2007, I started getting this bug, to be an entrepreneur, right? To head out on my own. And I read a few books on being an entrepreneur. And that took me into the space that I was already in, which was green. So what does green mean? So we would do energy efficiency on buildings. We would do material efficiency, recycling, reuse, reclaim. We do a lot of projects that would make the building green. And we were pretty good at what we did. And that led into, more on the construction side and getting into solar and wind and types of plumbing and heating systems and cooling systems. And that kind of dragged me back into construction. And then in 2008, the entire world collapsed, right? The financial world went to hell. There were no more loans out there. It was all bad. And so I'd already stepped over back into construction. And I went out and I found some work in the construction world. And things were pretty bad, like everyone else. We were massively in debt. We were always every month in threat of getting foreclosed. We're trying to figure out, just to kind of keep ourselves afloat. For those of you that remember 2008, 2009, 2010, even 2011. And I landed in Vegas and in Southern California doing renovations and rehabs, mostly for banks, for bank-owned properties. And that got me in the business, and that was interesting. I did a couple retail gigs, working with homeowners and kitchens and things like that. Not the best results. So I found out, hey, my sweet spot was really renovating for folks that were, looking to get the property on the market. And so that's where I stayed. I hooked up with a hedge fund, and I did hundreds of properties for them. And then I moved back across the country. I went from New Jersey to California, and then California back to New Jersey, started flipping in New Jersey from California. Then I went to Texas, started flipping here in Texas. And here in Texas, about 5 years ago, smartest move we ever did. And we have been involved in Texas real estate now for 5 years, and it's going very well. We were able to do flips. We were able to acquire. We were able to work in syndications. We're able to do a lot through our construction company and through our marketing company and through a couple other folks a couple other entities that we run. So I'm Robert. I am not Mr. Texas Real Estate, but I'm the guy who came up with the name. And I'll let Jason tell that story. But what is Mr. Texas Real Estate? So, my partner and I had been through a couple iterations of real estate companies, right? He had done a lot of work for wholesaling. He had done a lot of flips. I've done flips. I've done a lot of construction for investors. And when we looked at the model and what was out there, we kind of knew what we wanted to do. But the very first thing we started with was marketing. In fact, our first hire was our bookkeeper, and she's still with us. Our second hire was a cameraman. And we've been doing lots of marketing for the last 5 years. And so Mr. Texas Real Estate started out as a marketing company. Okay. Now we had done some wholesaling in Mr. Texas Real Estate. We started to do some flips in Texas Real Estate. But we hit it big when we decided we were going to do a mastermind. Like we weren't looking to put together the big book, right? That's not what we were looking to do. We weren't looking to put some tapes and videos and CDs. And we just said, hey, we want to get a bunch of like-minded individuals who want to build out their portfolio. And so since we started that about 4 years ago, we've helped over 80 people realize some of their dreams. we've created a number of millionaires, and there are folks that are still with us that are basically buying and holding. We have a pretty simple strategy called the 10 house strategy. You'll see that video up on our channel as well. It should be in the link below, in the description below. And so for the last 4 to 5 years here in Texas, we started with a marketing company, and we realized we needed reliable construction, so we started our own construction company, right? We want it cost effective and we want it reliable. Well, it's cost effective. Contractors are contractors. There's always a tough group to work with, but we have our own construction company. Then we were buying all this stuff with hard money. We need to refi. And so we decided to work with some lenders to basically help us on the refi. So we started being able to place some of these loans to make sure that we could get the refis done. We've done some syndications. We've done some funds. And now we opened up a brokerage, right? So we've created this sort of one-stop shop where you can come in, join our mastermind. You can get a property with us. We'll help you fund it, right? Either through some of our lending partners, our hard money guys, or our long-term guys, or if not, we can place it with a private investor ourselves. We'll do the construction for you, and then we can help you introduce you to our partners who do long-term property management, whether it's just regular rentals or Airbnb. And so Mr. Texas Real Estate now is pretty big. We're in this big building here. And we do a lot of things, right? We help people find the deals. We help people fund the deals. We help people fix the deals. We help people manage and make profit from the deals. So that's what we've been doing here for the last 5 years. My name is Robert. I'm Mr. Texas Real Estate. And we hope that you come out to our events and check us out. Check out the links below. That's who we are. I know Jason will have another video for if you're looking for Jason, he'll be right there.